And you asked me about the cassette and the DAT and
Right.
what I took from which. So the answer to that is I pretty much left the DAT completely alone because even though it's the much better mix, it's a much more finished product. Uh, it still wasn't like hi-fi enough for me to actually extract any samples from it, because for samples I pretty much need the high frequency content. So, but the cassette was a godsend. I have no idea that it was actually going to be that hi-fi, like with the high frequencies being so prevalent. Even though it was, it was so much tape hiss, still the high frequencies were really, really preserved, which was miraculous for me because that meant that I knew that I could make something special here. Because denoising is so simple once you learn how to actually do it without any plugins or without any programs, just manually, which is what I did for the track. So just as an example, for example, doing the drums, I would take each hit and I would isolate, for example, a kick drum, and I would find the cleanest isolated sample across the entire song. And then to denoise it properly, I would split that sample up into two parts. I would split it up into attack, and I would split it up into ring, because luckily the isolated drums had some good ring to it, which was, what you need for it to sound natural. So, and then I would on the attack part, I would only use the attack part of the sound, not the ring at all, and I would leave that a little bit gain on the high end, so to compensate for the tape hiss, because that adds some high end information. And then on the ring, I would just absolutely destroy any kind of high end on that and just leave it as a ring. And I would blend them together, and it would create pretty much what the sound would have sounded without the drum hit would have sounded without the tape hiss. So, and I did that for every single beat on the entire song. It took me probably about 110 hours by now, just doing that manually. So
it sounds like a Roger Nichols. This sounds like you've been possessed by my father.
I've spent being a musician, I have quite a few hours spare time when I'm not on the road, and I've spent probably about 11 or 12 hours a day for at least over a week doing it.
Oh my gosh. That is amazing. I can't wait to play it or share it when you're done and it's uploaded on the YouTube. That is an amazing feat. I heard, when you started talking about isolating the samples, and I was just as pleasantly surprised as you all to hear the cassette tape. And I wanted to upload it onto YouTube, just how it was transferred, because I didn't, even though I was with a professional archivist, and I didn't want to denoise it. I didn't want to mess with it. I literally wanted to share with you all, like, this is what we have, without me messing with it or touching it or anything, so you guys could hear what was in the drawer all those years. So yeah, I know there was lots of tape hiss, and it did sound really clear for a cassette, and also based on what we've been hearing on the internet for 10, 20 years. I don't know. When was YouTube started? I think at least for the past 10 years, there's been stuff floating around, right?
At least, and I know there were forums online, like even like Usenet groups back in the early 2000s, where people were talking about the second arrangement and having traded copies of it, whether it was offline at that time, maybe they're sending each other cassettes or something. I don't know.
Micheal, wow. So then, okay, so what we heard was you taking bits from the cassette and recreating them without the tape hiss. And so what about, are the missing lyrics the AI Donald?
Yes, the only AI that is on the track that I made is the missing parts. But I've managed to mix them together so that the missing part sounds pretty much as close as I can get them to Donald's real voice, which is all the rest of the thing.
Oh my god, I can't
believe it! They sound really good.
That's to me is what AI should be used for, ideally. Just stuff like this. It was perfect because you couldn't use the DAT vocals and upmix them into high quality. It doesn't work because you can't add high frequency sounds when there are no there originally, EQ wise. So having AI really helped us out there because that meant I could just add those parts, those 4 parts. There's only 4 parts in the entire song that are missing. I could add those with AI, and then you can't really hear the difference if you're not super aware of it.
Chad, did you hear a difference between Donald's?
No. I was going to say, this is the cleanest. I've heard maybe 3 or 4, restoration versions of this since you released the tapes to everybody. And Micheal, yours is definitely the least noticeable transition between, cutting in and out of the missing vocals. So, I mean, that's just fantastic.
That's great. And also to clean up the vocals, one thing I had to do, because there was a little bit of distortion on the tapes, on the cassette tape, which happens after 40 years. So, and those were very clear on the S's, which meant that the S's became like you don't have a lisp almost, and they became a little bit less pronounced than they should be, which I counteracted by isolating one S that he had that was really, really clear for some reason. I don't know why, but it was so super clear on the tape. And I pasted that, copied and pasted it on all of his S's throughout the entire song and matched them with length and volume. So it sounds a lot crisper than it did on the cassette tape.
Wow.
Thank you for your service. What the heck? That sounds so complicated and so fitting for a Steely Dan restoration. So we have actually one of the AI creators in the chat right now. Canaconn23 is
yes.
I'd put a link up for to have them jump on if they wanted to be on video. Otherwise, we'll just do a quick shout out to Canaconn23 in the chat. It was one of the, I think there was a few of you that worked on an AI Donald.
There are 3 creators of the AI stuff. 2 primarily that did most of the work, and then a 3rd one, which was our archivist, pretty much, who supplied us with all kinds of great sounding material to train the AIs. And he also started doing AI stuff. So there's 3 guys that know how to do that in our group, and then there's me and Jai Miguel. We don't know how to do it. We just use it.
Well, but you're really good at other stuff, like sitting there for 153 hours to pick apart the drums things and the S's, and that's a whole other skill. So look, it takes a team. It takes a team. Even my dad, Elliot Shiner was there and doing the mixes because, after a year in the studio recording it, my dad couldn't even hear up from down anymore. So thankfully, he had backup to do the mixes and the mastering, and he might be the one overseeing things, but it definitely takes a team sometimes to get stuff done. So long-winded, your skills are still valuable, even though you weren't one of the AI Donald creators. Yes. Oh my gosh, we might have Canaconn able to jump in. Let's see if we could get Canaconn to jump in then to talk about their AI. I just put our room invite in the link in the chat. Let's see. Can you, if Pipe Dream Canaconn, can you grab that? Because then we can have them.
This guy is the creator of the model I used for this version.
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear how y'all are creating these models, because I do appreciate you're like, this is how it should be used. Isn't too great here. Internet isn't too great here. Okay, we'll try. Look, I can't speak for my dad, but understanding who he was and what he was about, I'm pretty sure my dad would have given a big thumbs up to AI Donald and said, yes, as a tool, let's embrace the technology, because he was all about embracing technology to push things forward. He wasn't mad about it. And if there was didn't my dad literally create AI drums? I mean, my dad did create stuff like this in the 78. They couldn't get the perfect thing, and he invented software to do it. So yeah, in theory, this would probably be Roger Nichols approved to use an AI Donald to fill in the missing bits. I mean, where it gets scary, look, everything could be a pro or con. Chad, what do you feel? How do you feel about the AI revolution and using it for stuff like this?
I think it has its place, and I think it's great for stuff like this, right? I mean, there's definitely, applications where it can fill in gaps and it can do wonderful things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, gosh, I mean, now what can you even believe or hear now unless someone's like literally right in front of you, though, right? It is starting to get kind of scary out there.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit weird with all the deep fakes, and people can like video jack you and voice jack you now, but who knows.
I mean, maybe we could have AI Donald on for an interview.
Can the AI actually be cranky? I mean,
if we can't get real Donald on, maybe we could just have a conversation with AI Donald. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm cracking myself up. Okay, so we're still waiting on Canaconn to jump us on. No, don't jump us. Don't jump us. While we're waiting for Canaconn to jump on, I saw somebody else put one of their cathartic songs in the chat. Maybe we could play that while we're seeing if we could get one of the AI creators on. So we'll take a few minute break and listen to. Okay, we'll listen to We Have Heaven by Talking Heads, which was another cathartic choice in the chat. So here we go. Yes, that was a great song. Thank you so much, Joseph, in the chat. We have Joseph in the chat who suggested that song as their cathartic go-to. It was good. It was good. I like it. So Canaconn is trying one more way to get on the stream. While we're waiting, maybe something fun we can do. Let me turn Micheal back up. Here, Micheal, are you with us? Okay, Chad, give me a number. 1 through. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 through 10. Chad, give me number 1 through 10.
Let's go 8.
Okay. Okay, so I posted. I know. I posted in the Discord. Like, look, I have lots of fun stuff from the studio, from the archives. If y'all want to see it, I'm so happy to share it because I've been looking at this stuff for a decade. And one of the things I had in there, I posted on Discord. I was like, "Should we do an unboxing?" And Chad was like, "Sure, yeah, let's do it." So I have this folder, top secret, kill yourself before reading. I think this is from the 2 Against Nature sessions. And we have files. This is ridiculous. And so number 8, let's see what the 8th file is. Oh, we lost Chad. I think we lost Chad. Oh no, am I really not supposed to? Wait, am I not supposed to? Maybe I'm not supposed to. Did my stream explode? Maybe we aren't supposed to play this stuff. Oh no. Maybe I'm not supposed to share it.
I'm here. Sorry, I had a glitch.
Oh my God, I thought it was the universe telling me not to share it.
No Steely Dan chats today. We're good.
Okay, so let's see what the 8. You said number 8, right?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay, so the 8th file is And you know what? I'll put pictures of this stuff in the Discord because it's going to be hard to see on stream. So let's see what the 8th. So the 8th, Cousin Leroy. What's that?
I know.
Cousin Leroy. What do you think that is?
Can I guess, or can I say what I think I know it is?
Yeah. What do you think
I
it is?
feel like that was the original working title of Cousin Dupree.
Ooh. Yeah. Steely Dan Cousin. Okay, so the unboxing of this folder. So this is interesting because this is how my dad worked. Early version of Dupree. So this is Cousin Leroy. And these are all the studio notes of them working on this song. And so we've got 3/8/99. So yeah, Cousin. So we have a track sheet. And then we have grid paper. So I don't know. This stuff is really interesting to me because to see how people worked, especially for like studio, professionals like this, is so interesting to me because my dad would print everything. I'm trying to see if there's an order to this stuff, but he would print everything. You had to save all this stuff. Chad, this isn't out of the ordinary to keep a folder like this, is it? Don't most?
No, I don't think it's out of the ordinary. And look, I work for an arts nonprofit, and I work in technology, but I cross over sometimes into some of the other things that are going on around the org. And one of the big projects that we had was sort of this preservation of legacy sort of thing, right? Where we were digitizing and cataloging and adding metadata and everything else to all these different assets, right? Physical things that we were trying to preserve forever, because of their importance to the art world, right? So I feel like you're starting down a parallel path here with all your dad's physical stuff, right? It's important to digitize it and preserve it and keep it, and I don't envy you trying to catalog it because apparently he kept everything.
Oh my God, look. Jeff Strahl Music, yes, all of this needs archived. Look, so we even have, okay, so thank you, yes, because we actually have started working with, actually 5 or 6 years ago now, we have these friends with Penn State that actually started a Roger Nichols archive, and we're so grateful for them because one of our friend John Pachance reached out and said, I know who your dad was, and you must have an amazing amount of stuff. And we were like, well, yes, you're right. And he's like, I work for a university, and I think we can help you archive it. So we have started the process. They've archived hard drives. They've taken pictures of stuff, but we haven't dug into all these folders yet. There was an unbelievable amount of stuff. So thank you for saying that. Like, yeah, my dad kept everything, but
That's a good thing.
yeah, it's a good thing, but like, let me tell y'all out there, okay, for any of the dads out there that like to keep a lot of shit, and I'm cussing right now because I mean it. Chad, I saw you look away. How old are your kids right now?
I have one daughter. She's 17.
Oh my God, one? Okay. Please, for the love of children, your daughter, just make an edit before you get too old. Make an edit or leave instructions like what do I do with this? So this is interesting though, because this is Steely Dan stuff. So we have Cousin Leroy, 98, and we have piano sequencing. So this is my dad taking notes, I guess, on moving piano bits around. Move sequence piano. Cousin Leroy. We have looping. See, these are just notes. These are just, and then we have, okay, so this is Donald's handwriting. So this is the piano part. Look, that's Donald's intro. That's his handwriting. So this is the piano part. And then working it out. Isn't that what that looks like?
Yeah. My understanding was Donald and sometimes Walter would draw up all these charts by hand, when they were going to do tracking, and then the studio people would come in and, have charts in front of them just to start figuring out the parts of the song and stuff. So most likely that's what those are.
Cousin Leroy pieces. I mean, they really did work hard. I mean, I think actually this is my dad making notes on all the stuff he has to do. I actually posted a clip. Chad, your mic is a bit quiet, by the way. I've been hearing you all right, but maybe compared to mine's probably a little too loud.
Let's see if I can crank it up a little bit.
Okay. Oh, 100,000 for everything related to everything. Jeff Strahl Music has some funding in the chat. You know what's funny is Everything Must Go is actually, I have more stuff on 2 Against Nature than Everything Must Go, but I might have some Everything Must Go. So I think I've posted a video. Look, Jeff, I'll look for Everything Must Go. Sure. Let's have an auction. Move New Walter bass. Oh, Tom. Okay, wait. Let me turn down Tom. I think we have our friend, or we just have someone. We had someone come into the chat. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, sorry this unboxing isn't more interesting. It's actually just my dad's notes on what he needed to do, and he wrote everything on graph paper. Wait, where is it? So, Cousin Dupree, I think so. I did post a video online. My dad had something like 300,000 edits on this song or something ridiculous. So that's what this folder is. We have a bunch of engineer's graph paper with my dad's notes, a couple of track sheets. Wait, charts. Track sheet, this track sheet, and a couple of charts. Sorry if I've said that wrong. And so that was folder number 8. Good job, Chad. I will be posting pictures in the Discord. You are the winner of Roger Nichols, I don't know, brain, and insight into how he sorted. I don't know, y'all. I think it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And since it looks like Canacon's trying to get in.
Okay. All right. Let me add Canaconn. Add to scene. Tom N. And so we'll go for about 20 more minutes, and then we'll sign off for today. This has been a great Sunday. So let's hear what Tom, looks like Canaconn's name is Tom. Wait. I was like, okay. Remove from scene. Tom, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so let me put you in. Tom, welcome. Michael, I have you turned down. Let me turn Michael up. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, everybody. Oh my God, I think we made it. Okay, so can everybody hear me all right? I think I great. I have everybody.
I can hear you.
Tom, welcome. Tom.
Thanks. Sorry for all the
Canaconn.
issues I'm having.
No, Canaconn Pipe Dream Tom. So thank you so much for jumping on. We were talking to Michael earlier about his mix, and you are one of the creators of the AI Dawn. So can you please tell us about that? How did you do it? Can you tell us how you did it?
So the version that Michael used was actually my second iteration. It uses I'm going to say a base model called RVC. And it requires quite a bit of training material, which of course I use Donald Fagen's vocals. I isolated from a ton of his songs, specifically from around the Nightfly, Gaucho, one song from Asia, but it required quite a bit of processing to get them as clean as possible, so the model wouldn't pick up a ton of like, you know, the instruments, so you wouldn't start hearing like drums randomly when it's not needed.
All of a sudden, AI Donald speaks in drums.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
People have made models off of just drums singing. It's weird.
Wow, training samples for the AI. Okay, so wait. So what was the name of the AI? Because I saw that there was something called like 11 Labs or something, but you used, what was the AI that you used?
It's called RVC. I'm actually using the second version of it.
Okay, RVC. And so the AI that I actually tried to use, because look, there's a documentary that's going to be made about my dad. My dad would not be opposed to using AI as a helper, not as like a deep fake trying to trick people, but like say there's like a word or two that my dad wrote down that would be good for to hear him say, like, why not try to use AI? So I did start messing around with the AI to see, and the one that I use, like, I did notice that it was flat. It was like really the AI had a hard time with inflection.
Yeah. So 11 Labs is, I guess, what it's called, a text to speech model. RVC is a bit different. You actually feed it an audio file, and it uses that to have an output. So for, say, the missing snippets that Micheal used with my AI, that actually used parts of the DAT tape that you released.
Mm-hmm.
It basically, I used it as kind of an upmix, but it sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of finicky, but in this case, it worked really well.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So the AI that you used, you can actually, it can sing. Okay. So that's where I'm actually, sorry, I'm trying to wrap my brain around all this. So thank you for your patience trying to explain it to me,
Yeah, no,
because
my first time actually explaining it to someone. So
I know. So how did you get it to sing? Like, did you just feed it him singing and go, just do that? Like, how did you get it to sing and not just speak is what I'm asking.
well, it actually, let's see here. How do I put it? I'm trying not to BS myself with this. So, let's see.
Could I give it a shot?
Yeah, sure.
I think I know how it works. It more or less copies whatever comes in to it. So if, for example, I sing "Hello," then if that goes into the model will output exactly what I sang, but in, for example, Donald's voice, if that's the model.
Oh, wait, Micheal, do you mind if I send Simsy the bear samples that you sent me?
Yeah, sure. Exactly. That's me singing and it turned into Donald.
Stop it! Stop!
Yeah, I actually ran Michael's vocals through it, and it turned into Donald's vocals.
Oh no! The power! The power! It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous.
It requires you to be able to sing before using it. I tried to run my voice through it. It doesn't sound very good.
Oh no!
So when's the new Steely Dan album coming out, guys?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh my God! Could we have Donald read us his book? Could we have Donald read us?
I probably would need to train another model off of him just talking. It's kind of it. I trained it just for singing, not for actually talking.
Oh gosh, y'all, this is amazing. This is amazing, the work you're doing. That this can be done too. So
let's see here.
So there's different AI models then. Now there's ones, because the one that I was messing with was just a talking model. And so you guys have Was the model already like you had to train the model to sing?
Yeah.
Whoa. Chad, are you following? I'm like, this is so intense for me.
Oh yeah, I'm following. I've been playing
Okay.
with
Yeah,
some AI
the
stuff,
way it
so-
works, I guess, is it actually extracts the pitch of the vocals throughout the training material, and it uses that as, I'm going to say it, to try to figure out the style of how a person is singing or how they pronounce things.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps to get it really close to the original vocals, despite it being someone else's being run through it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Michael, it looks like the links that you sent me a while back expired. I think the file.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can try to host it if I can find it. I'll try to find it.
I can share links from the internet on this streaming platform. I can't share stuff on my desktop. So if you sent me like a Dropbox links, I could share the audio, but I can't play audio from my desktop for some reason.
Well, I think you might be able to share, say, the player app that's on Windows, or depending on what you run Mac, right?
Oh God, yeah, I'm a Mac brat. Sorry, I think I
No,
grew
you're
up.
fine. You're fine.
My dad was a Mac. I've had every iteration of Mac computer since they began.
Yeah, no, I actually don't run Windows. I use a version of the Linux operating system.
Okay, yeah. I have the new M1 or M2 chip. I don't know. Cuz yeah, my dad had the thing where you could split it and it could run PC programs on his old laptop, but this is like a decade ago
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, no, I think that's a similar application to what lets Linux do that.
Okay,
think
so
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the AI that I was messing around with, I did notice like if I fed it my dad's voice, a couple of sentences into it, and it definitely was like not sounding human. I don't know. I wonder if it's good enough to have you ran across AI models that are good enough to like catch inflection, or like sometimes I'll end a sentence like this and the AI just goes, duh, duh.
Oh yeah, no. If I were to train a model off your voice, it probably would pick that up and actually do that.
Okay. So the model I'm using, I think it was like 11 Labs. Have you heard of that model?
Yeah, that's the text to speech model where you can feed it text and it'll give you audio.
Right. So that one was just super basic and couldn't get the inflections.
Yeah.
But so you guys are actually training AI.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm trying to, I guess, collect some of these audio files that Michael sent me, since a few of the links have expired. I'm just trying to find what I actually
I found the bear. I just sent it to Timsy.
Oh, well,
Okay.
so if I download it though, I can't play it right now on the stream.
Okay.
If it was like a link, like a Dropbox link, Michael, I could play it.
Yeah, I tried Dropbox, but it only played the center channel, which was weird.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if I
Weird.
download
You don't actually need to download, I think. Oh, maybe you do. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, if I
I'll try to
download
put
it,
yeah.
Mac OS on this. What we're using right now is the EV Mux.
Let's see.
I'm not using OBS today. So yeah, if we had a web-based thing. What are you trying to send me? You're trying to send me you singing the bear?
Basically, yeah. Just,
And then I'm trying to send you the output of it. Or I guess Michael could. He has both parts.
All right, Dropbox link is up.
Oh my gosh, you guys are quick. Okay, so let's see. So this is okay, so let me okay, so this is only 46 seconds. So let me just share. Let me get my ducks in a row. I'm gonna share my screen again. And so this is
much
Micheal
me
singing
singing.
Donald. Okay, here we go.
I've been on the run, but I've done my time. You just can't stand still with a friend like mine. There's a bear that walks like a man, better shaking fast. Better hide yourself if you can, 'cause he wants your ass. I believe you'll do quite well, but only time will tell if you got the bear or the bear got you.
Okay, so that was great. And so that was Micheal, that was you singing and AI Donald like you were singing and then AI Donald is what we heard.
Yeah. I try to sound like Donald as much as I could with inflection and with the way he sings and the vibrato and everything, because the model just copies exactly what goes in. So whatever you sing is what you'll get out, just in Donald's voice. So it's important to get the vibrato right. It's important to get the accent right, because the model also copies the accent, you know. So
I heard the accent. That was convincing. The bear.
almost little detail here and there.
Yeah, I probably could have gotten it to get a lot closer to Don's, like even more so. But the issue is then it starts picking up a ton of artifacts. It starts basically pulling from the depths of the model, which usually means, oh, you're gonna start hearing like this weird, I don't know, it's like when you smack your lips a bit, but it's like constant.
Okay.
But it's like all over. It's like half syllables. It's really odd.
Yeah. Oh gosh, y'all. This is okay. So how did you get interested in doing this, Tom? Like what was the pull for you to do this and
I actually
recreate
had a
Donald?
friend on Discord start bringing up unreleased Steely Dan music, and for some reason, up until he mentioned it, I had never actually thought that that was a possibility. So I had no idea about any of this stuff. But
You had no idea that there was lost media or that you could actually start to recreate it.
lost media in general. I don't know why, but in my mind, I just thought Steely Dan was the perfect group that I just liked to listen to.
Yeah, I'm kind of learning with y'all, which is super interesting for me growing up around it. Like I listened to an interview that we did of Gary Katz, and he did say that there would be a lot of stuff that would end up on the cutting floor because it just, that they couldn't get it right, or like Donald or Walter, they would write these songs, and if the musicians couldn't get it right, Gary said that Donald would say, well, there must be something wrong with the song, and they would scrap it. So this is the stuff, I guess, that they were scrapping. I mean, besides Second Arrangement, because Second Arrangement was like gonna be the hit, but like the Bear, and there's like Wet. Wait, what are the other ones? What are some of the other demos? There's like a whole Lost Gaucho, right?
Yeah. There's Can't Write Home About You, Talking About My Home. Let's see here. Those are the two that I could think
Kule
of.
Baba.
Yeah, Kule Baba. That one's a good one.
Was that from Gaucho or another album?
That was most of the Gaucho sessions.
Gotcha.
Wow. So
Kule Baba was actually tracked. Kule Baba was actually tracked either on the same day as Babylon Sisters, or at least in the same session.
Well, so now
Because
I
the
know.
drum sound is the exact same.
Oh, so maybe they took one. They were like, "Oh, well, we still really like this," and then turned it into Babylon Sisters. And that song worked better. Interesting. Well, now I know what else to look for in my dad's media. Oh, Dad.
Yeah, if you can find Kule Baba in high quality, I won't have to recreate it, which will save me about 300 hours. So please do that.
I love it. You're like, we're gonna do this anyway. So if you could help us then that would be
Yeah.
great.
Oh, here. I actually uploaded a version of Coolie Baba, which is more like a ripoff of Michael's mix, but the vocals are entirely AI generated.
Yeah, they're really good.
Oh, what did you upload it or did you send it?
I uploaded it to my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, where is that? Maybe we could have that take us out for today, because this is a really fascinating conversation. What's your YouTube channel? You want to put it in the
Canaconn23.
Canaconn23. So this is a completely AI Donald singing Coolie Baba 3 weeks ago. Is that what you did?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, Steely Los Gauchos. So we are in Canaconn23's YouTube channel. And this is Coolie Baba recovered from. So you found, what did you find? Did you find demo tapes with the tracks and you put his vocals on top? What is this that we're about to listen to?
It's more or less I'm not a sound engineer. So I took whatever I found, I removed the original vocals from it and just slapped in the AI vocals and then added some horns as an attempt at replicating Michael's mix.
Okay, I like it. See, that's why y'all work good as a team, because Michael can do some of the mixing and the super microscopic. Yeah.
I guess Jive, Miguel, Paul, and Michael, they are like gods compared to me.
Well, but you're the AI, so it's you. Who's doing the AI? Who created the AI? You and
there's another guy. He goes by Adrii, ADRIII on Discord.
Okay, cool. I love it.
His model is cleaner in certain aspects, but it does kind of get scratchy at times.
Okay, so let's listen to. So this is Coolie Baba, and after this, we'll wrap up the sessions for today, because this is a really interesting conversation, and I love that y'all have taken the time to do this stuff. I find it fascinating, but I've really appreciated y'all jumping onto my inaugural Dan Chat stream, and yeah. I don't know. I could talk about this stuff for hours, but let's listen to your Coolie Baba, and we'll wrap it up for today. We'll continue this next week. I think I like Sundays. I think we'll do chats like this every Sunday. Y'all don't have to come. I would love for you to be here, but we'll mix it up with guests and come up with new topics. But let's listen to your Coolie Baba, and we will take it out for today. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay, here we go.
My long voyage made sweet. I carry the proper paper. I seek the primal rhythms of the blues. I preserve great moments as they come, and sure this must be one. Brightly pitted dancers on the screen are no more than a prelude to the ritual unfolding. No white man's eyes have ever seen on frightening finale, the rite that you're beholding. find something of a standout in the crowd. Don't you want that power cable, son? I guess I owe you one. Work with my chief engineer. We'll mix with the mark for all the folks at home. I'm tasting the local beer, and half the crew is dancing in the foam. Coming your way every Sunday. Sideline relay, hello Broadway. Sweet holy Jesus, what a night. St. Augustine was right. Cameraman began the coolie bomber. The telecast was over. Our featured friends were gone. I hear there's a batch in Cameroon. So long for now, we must be moving on. Moving on. Moving on. Coming your way every Sunday. Live from the way. Hello, Broadway. Moving on.
Wow. Okay, so that was amazing. Is that Tom? Is that you singing?
No, those are actually the original isolated vocals, the ones that I ripped out,
Okay.
and I ran it through the model. I don't know how many times to get it to sound right. Basically, every few seconds, I actually had to split the audio and just combine a bunch of different takes because a lot of words would be mispronounced. The vocals wouldn't be smooth. It would go like a low note to a high note almost instantly, and it'd be extremely jarring.
Okay. Okay.
So that probably took about 2 hours of just constant splitting the audio, just like mixing them together, trying to figure out which ones were pronounced correctly, which ones weren't.
Amazing. Amazing. Look, I appreciate y'all. And, I want to wrap this up for today, but I feel like this is a to be continued conversation because I am learning so much from you guys. And I can feel the amount of time and effort you have put into this. So thank you. I think it's a lot of fun for a lot of people. And we appreciate your work. So, I kind of want to wrap it up for today. If there's anything else y'all would like to end with, I think I might just take us out. And to be continued, this is the Steely chat sessions. Or you take deep dives into AI and Roger Nichols' studio files. So,
Great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Micheal, Tom, Chad, thank you so much for joining me today. If there's anything else y'all would like to say, I think I just kind of want to wrap it up.
I just want to say one thing. Hi, pal.
Hi, pal. Yay. And for that, I think that's it for us for today. And we'll see you next time on the Steely Dan Chats.
right.
Waving.